Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody that's listening to the podcast, I guess. Welcome back to the Cast-ket. It is your... What? This is a horrible intro. This is your host, the most, the boast with the toast. It's Ghost. It is May 31st, 2023. And I wanted to keep this one very short and sweet. And with me now saying that, it's going to be probably one of the longest podcasts in existence. So I do apologize in advance. But the topic that came to my mind this morning, and I thought about this before, but it's nice to go back into it, is the topic and theme of intention. I feel like intention is key with everyone in everyday life. When you do something, you must have intent. A lot of people just do things just to do them, and that equates to me, they're lost. Like, they're just fabricating. They're either being fake or, you're not being your authentic self. It's literally the opposite. When you're intent with something, when you have intention with something, you're being authentic. Hell, it could be something bad. It could be something deemed, not good. Like, some people have the intent to hurt other people. There's still intent. But I want to focus on the goodness of intention, obviously. When you have intent with something, it derives from something within you. Like, it strikes with your core. It strikes with your essence. Like, for example, my intent with doing what I do is to provide, comfort, to provide relativity, to provide smiles, entertainment, making the world a little bit less shitty than it already is, even for just a small moment. That is my intent with what I do. I'm not just doing it just to do it. Some people have intent with doing things of this nature for the sole sake of money, and that's fine. They can have that. That's their intent. But it's key. That's the thing that kind of drives you. That's that thing that motivates you. That's that thing that keeps you going. It's the thing that makes you authentic. And I'm saying all of this to hopefully make yourself ask yourself. That did not make any sense. Make you ask yourself, there we go, what is your intent in life? What is it that you want to do? What are your goals? What are your dreams? The stuff that you do right now, what's the intent? Hell, you can even start small. What is the intent of your job? What's the intent of your 9 to 5? What's the intent of you paying the bills? Or what's the intent of you having multiple jobs? Or let's say, what's your intent being a streamer? What's your intent being a sex worker? What's your intent of doing this? What's your intent of doing that? What's your intent of going to the gym, working out, saving up money, or, being in a relationship, being single? What is your intent with that? What are you doing it for? Ask yourself those questions. And if you don't know what your intent is, it's probably not meant for you. Or maybe you've been dealing with whatever you're doing or whatever situation that you're in, and you haven't found like the true meaning of it quite yet. That happens often too. Like, you start off doing things. Like, let's say, for example, just because it's so relative to me, I started off streaming just because it was one of those things to network with new people or try to meet like-minded people, like-minded streamers, find people that play the same games as me and hopefully have some sort of connection. That's the intent with it. And sometimes it could blossom into something even grander than what your initial intent is. And that's a beautiful thing too. But do not do things just for the sake of doing them, because anybody can do that. But I feel like the true uniqueness and the true, beautifulness of people doing things with intent and authenticity separates themselves from the masses, from the flock, from the majority, from the mold itself. You know what I'm saying? So what is your intent in life? Figure that out. Why do you do the things that you do? Not to say that you need to explain yourself to people, but it's more so an inner reflection of, what are you doing? Why am I going to the gym? Because I would love to not only boost my self-confidence, my self-image, I would love to have more energy for all the things that I'm doing. I would love to, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would love to be noticed more. I want to be a menace on the beach. I've never had that mentality before, but I know in the grand scheme of things, it's not to be like, what's the phrase that I'm trying to get at? I'm not trying to be like a meathead or just like a gym, asshole. And when I mean gym asshole, you know what I'm talking about. Those people that really just make it way more like they do it for selfish means, right? Like, oh, look at me, like I can steal your girl. It's not about that. Everyone goes to the gym for their own reasons, and half of us, or at least half of us, are already nervous about going to the gym in the first place. So the fact that people go to the gym and try to be consistent with it, they have their own intent with going with it. That's why you'll never see me look at people weird, why are they at the gym? Hell, why am I at the gym? Did I go to the gym to judge people? What the hell? That's so backwards. That's not my intent. My intent is for me and me alone, and just like everyone else. But I would like to look into the mirror more frequently myself and be like, you did that. You really did what you said you were gonna do. You look handsome. You look sexy. Look at you. You're looking scrumptious. You should be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, I would date me. I would fuck me. You know what I'm saying? Not even an ego boost. It's just it's gonna serve as something I never was looked at in the past. I guess how society looks at certain men, certain individuals is oh, you gotta be 6 foot, you gotta have 6-pack abs, or you gotta be this and you gotta be that. No. I'm not doing this to satisfy the mold or satisfy society. I'm doing this for me. Because I want to look in the mirror and be like, damn, you envision yourself a certain way. That way, it's more conducive to your dreams and your goals. And, we are pleased with our eyes. We see stuff with our eyes first, for the most part. And if I look in the mirror and see damn, you look attractive, that's going to give me a confidence boost. That way, the rest of my day is going to be even more splendid than it already is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing it for a means of, there's multiple facets of me going to the gym, but it all comes down with the common denominator of intent. This is the thing that's going to drive me. This is the thing that's going to get me to the next level, and it's not gonna hurt. What? It's not gonna hurt anyone. It's not for selfish means, even though if someone else were to say, hey, what you're doing is selfish, hey, that's your own perspective. I am not hurting anybody. I don't care what other people perceive, what my supposed intent is in their eyes, because my intent is I want to be attractive in my own eyes. I want to look in the mirror and be like, damn, you got it. And keep it going without anyone else's input in mind. And that's just an example. What's the intent of me doing this podcast? My intent to do this podcast is to motivate and inspire, and hopefully someone hearing these words can have their day turned around from it being shitty or depressing or sad and be like, you know what? This person is going through it just like I am. Maybe not 100%, because we're all different and we have our own struggles. But you know what? These words are just enough to ignite a spark in me to where I can change the direction or trajectory of my life in a more positive, in a more brighter, in a more bright, actually. I need to work on that. Here go this garbage, man. Again, I promise you, right before I pressed the record button, it was silent. And you know what's crazy? The lawnmowers were going like maybe 30 minutes ago, and I had to wait until they were quiet. And I wait, and my gosh, are you like trying to break the dumpster? Anyway, it wouldn't be a recording without the garbage man, right? I might as well just feature this like the garbage man, you know, or the garbage person, garbage woman, you know, they're out there. Intent. Find your intent in life, you know? Recognize your intent in life. Why do you do what you do? And don't worry about what society is going to think of it. It seems silly. Okay, it might seem silly to them, but it could be super important to you. And that is more than enough for you doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting others. This is coming from like the core of you. This is naturally you. You want to do something happy for yourself. Focus on that. Don't let outside influences dictate like your happiness. You know what I'm saying? You know why you do what you do. And recognize the stuff that, you know, you do that may be toxic to yourself. Why are you on social media so much? Why are you talking about these people that really don't like mean, that shouldn't have stroke in your life or have as much power in your life? Why are you reacting to everything? You know, that's good. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? Reflective thinking, you know, and I catch myself doing it a lot too. Why am I on Twitter so much? Why am I following these certain people? Why am I checking up on certain individuals? You know, even though like we may not be talking or, you know, yada, yada, yada. Why do I do that? Why am I catching myself frequently doing that? What is my intent with that? Why am I doing this? What am I to gain from it? When you start looking into the intent of things, you're going to find out or embark on other questions that really wasn't present before. You're going to notice your patterns. You're going to notice the things that you do subconsciously that you probably weren't even aware of. And that's okay too. As long as you find this out and you want to deem, you know, hey, you know what? I don't want this anymore. Why? Because it's not conducive to my happiness. It's not conducive to my joy. My intent with life is joy and happiness. If it doesn't align with that, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to slowly, you know, go away from it. Or block it out of my radius because I don't want that near me. You know, reflect on yourself. Reflect on your space in your life. What do you want in it? Be the intent for it. And other people will take notice. Don't do it for other people's attention, because it's not going to be for you then. It's going to be for others. Do things for you. Because what you think matters. What you do matters. What you go about matters. Again, as long as it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't hurt others. It's not, you know, truly selfish. Like you really want to, I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking upon myself, but I really want to spread joy. I want to make someone smile. You know, that's why I make videos. Yeah, it's tiring, but you know, that's what I signed up for. I enjoy what I do because not only does it matter to me, it matters to other people across the globe. I never thought that could be a thing. There are people in other countries that enjoy what I do, and it's just me enjoying what I love to do. And that's my intent. My intent is to entertain and to spread positivity, to make people laugh, hell, to make people cry, make people relate, make people feel, and, you know, have people or give people an escape from whatever gloom and doom they're in. You know what I'm saying? And it's conducive to my joy and it's conducive to my happiness. So ask yourself that. like throughout the week, or start asking yourself, what's your intent with stuff? Why do you do what you do? The things that you do, why do you do them? Ask yourself before someone else asks you. That way, when someone else does ask you, you can confidently tell them, this is why I do this. I love to entertain. I love doing this podcast. I feel like these words can really help somebody today. And that is my intent. And I feel so much more fulfillment doing that. This is not just I'm doing it just to do it. It's an empty task. It's an empty, project. There's no substance. It's just hollow. But by me doing this and fulfilling the intent, it's so full. It's so organic. It's so just full of life. And that's just an example. I think that's it. Ask yourself, why do you do the things that you do? What's your intention? Intention is key. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Check out Fusion Struggle Podcast if you already haven't. It's also on glitchXgrave.com. You can check out glitchXgrave.com for everything else that I do. And no matter how much it hurts, move forward. Keep that PMA. Check out the website for more. Y'all have a blessed day. Manifest some great shit today for yourself. Love y'all. Peace.